Thank you. Hi there, everyone. My name is Daniel Chilicott. I'm on stage with co-founder JJ Milne here, and we're here to talk about how Flowgear enables customers to integrate their cloud and on-premise systems.
So cloud computing, software as a service, application service provision, these are the words, the buzzwords that's on everyone's lips today. Why? Because for the first time ever, it's possible to choose best-of-breed vendors from any geography in the world. You can consume services on a just-in-time basis with near limitless capacity, and you can deploy them with exceptional speed. But with change comes risk. We all know the internet is a dangerous place. You can't trust some governments, legal frameworks are uncertain, and you certainly can't rely on the service providers around the globe to protect your interests and to protect your intellectual property. Now, corporations are deploying cloud services at an ever-increasing rate. But enterprises have realized that unless they have a unified, secure, scalable, and cost-effective integration framework, they run the risk that these disparate systems remain isolated silos, and that they won't be able to, at best, leverage their data, and at worst, they'll have inconsistent data in multiple places. Now, Flowgear is not alone in identifying the opportunities and the challenges of data integration in the cloud. According to Gartner, over the next 36 months, this space is set to mushroom to $2.8 billion.
And that's where we come in. Flowgear is an integration platform designed for the cloud era. Implementation is fast, management is easy, and it comes with the product connectors you'll need right out the box. So let's see how Flowgear would work in a real-world example. Let's say I've got consultants out in the field. They're using SharePoint, and they collaborate together on that. They have a projects list in SharePoint where they track some basic information like project progress. Back at the office, my salespeople are using Salesforce. What I'd like to do is give the salespeople a 360-degree view of the customer, enabling them to see how projects are progressing, worked on by the consultants. So let's have a look at SharePoint. Here I've got my basic projects list. I've got the name of the project, the PM, and the percentage completed. Across in Salesforce, I've got my list of accounts and the project information on the right-hand side here, but it's all blank. So what we're going to do is create an integration that will connect these two together and give our salespeople a full view of their customers. Here's the Flowgear console where I'll do my design work. On my left here is the toolbox of connectors available to me, and on the right-hand side is the design canvas where I'll create this orchestration. I'm going to start by dropping on the connectors that I'll need. We'll begin with a SharePoint connector. In the middle are some data mappings I've prepared beforehand. And finally, we'll add in the Salesforce connector. The next thing I'm going to do is hook up the sequence of execution by connecting these elements. But Flowgear doesn't stop there from a workflow point of view. Unlike most workflow systems, you can actually map data visually as well as execution flow. So on the SharePoint connector here, I'm going to take the result coming out of SharePoint, plug that into my data mappings, and then I'm going to take the output from the data mappings and plug that into the Salesforce input. Now all that's left for me to do is to hook up some properties. I'm going to choose my Salesforce company. I'm going to set my action to update the account. And in SharePoint, I'm going to choose a SharePoint instance and type in the name of the list I'm using, which is the projects list. Once I'm ready, I hit the Start button. It's now going to save that workflow into our environment and execute it. Once it starts executing, the logs will pop out on the right-hand side, and we'll be able to see in real time how the process is executing. We can see the SharePoint elements come up in the list, and as it goes through each of those steps, you're going to see it popping out in the tree view there. So now the process is completed. We've got all the way through to Salesforce. All that's left to do now is switch back into Salesforce and refresh the project view. And with a bit of luck, we'll see the project progress coming through as well. And there it is. So we've got our project names filled in over here. We can see the PM and the percentage complete. So that's just a simple example of what Flowgear is doing for our customers.
So you can see how easy it is to see Flowgear in action, how easily we could set up two completely separate service providers and connect the data from them. But how does Flowgear affect your users on a daily basis? Well, the key to it is being context aware. Flowgear understands who your users are, who the stakeholders are in your organization, what security and access rights they have, and only presents them the data that they have access to, irrespective of where that data is residing. Now, this is important because understanding context means we can leverage the unlimited potential of mobile, laptop, tablet, or the web browser itself. In fact, we have clients for every major platform. Now, we'd invite you to come and see additional examples of how we're changing the way businesses integrate their systems. We're at booth D8, and we can share some of the magic sauce behind what makes Flowgear tick. How we manage to process hundreds of thousands of transactions a second without compiling a single line of code. For the hackers among you, we can explain how we get through enterprise-grade firewalls without punching holes in company security. And we can even share with you some of the real-world experiences of the mobile clients we have on hand. We thank you for your time today and look forward to talking to you. We are Flowgear, your business connected.
Thank you.